Welcome back to After the Whistle. Two girls golf captains in North Dakota share a special bond. Century's Cambry Haugley and Minot's Callie Wilson met through golf and have a common passion for the sport, but that's not just their friendship, as that's only where it began, as both also face an internal battle that dates back to their days as middle schoolers. I had the opportunity to learn about their stories and the companionship that they have. In September of 2018, Cambry Haugley was on her way home from school and started to not feel well, starting an unknown battle that has changed her life.
I started to kind of just not feel good. It was hard for me to walk up and down the stairs. I was getting a bunch of nosebleeds and just really random symptoms, and then I started to really not feel good, and I ended up hospitalized a couple times in the emergency room and stuff, just for random symptoms. Like I would pick up a symptom and then I'd drop one. So it was an ongoing battle, and then it just never really went away.
Symptom after symptom, and it was like, what's going on? Like, why can't anybody figure this out? And even some of the physicians were like, this shouldn't be happening to a 12-year-old. Like, some of her numbers in her labs were just phenomenal, and they're like, this should not be like this for a 12-year-old, but nothing was showing up, nothing.
Despite countless doctor's appointments and tests, Cambry does not have a diagnosis and is still searching for answers. With future doctor's visits scheduled, the hope is that she will get some long-awaited clarity.
It's hard because I have so many different symptoms that they can't really pinpoint one thing, and they've tested me for a lot of different things, and nothing's really come back positive for those. I've been to many different doctors here in Bismarck. I went down to the Fargo Pediatrics at Sanford. We've also been to Mayo a couple of times, and we're going back end of October to get a couple more tests done, try out different doctors, just covering all the bases to maybe find an answer.
A diagnosis is comforting because that will allow us to know that she's either being treated and she starts to feel better, or they've figured out what is causing her symptoms. And so the hope is just to give this kid some energy, some life back, and just be able to function, because that's her biggest challenges right now.
Meanwhile, up north in Minot, Callie Wilson started experiencing similar symptoms in the 6th grade. She was diagnosed with pelvic floor disorder, but it turned out to be a misdiagnosis.
She had to have a lot of invasive procedures done, like at the age of 11. Which, as parents, that was super scary because she's having to have all this adult stuff done. You see your child laying on a bed in the hospital and them doing all of this stuff and tears coming out of her eyes.
It was just frustrating, honestly, like them coming up with all these like possibilities and then having to go through all these tests all the time, and then them still be like, well, we still don't know what's going on. So I feel like that was probably the hardest part, was just the not knowing and the continuous of going through all the tests and having to travel all the time and miss a whole bunch of school. And it was just a lot.
After 3 years of misdiagnosis, Callie was diagnosed with POTS, postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome, in 2019, a condition that includes bodily episodes that can occur at any time.
I can feel it coming on, which is a lot safer. That's how I can keep my driver's license and still be able to go to school and feel comfortable going to school, having a chronic illness. But then it's I cry, I pass out, I cry, I pass out, and I probably do that 5 or 6 times. And then when I wake up and I come out of it, my eyes don't dial back in. So looking at the light is really bad. I can barely walk because I lose feeling in my legs. I shake. Just a whole bunch of stuff goes on.
While both girls face an internal battle, Callie and Cambry also share a love for golf, a sport they've played since their childhoods.
Golf is my passion. It's the thing that I want to do now and I want to continue to do later, and it's also something that I get to keep for my entire life.
Definitely my safe place, my go to get away. Even if I'm having a bad day, I just want to go to the golf course or whatever. But I mean, it is my sport. That's the sport I want to play in college. My grandpa taught me it.
And through the sport that they love, their paths would cross at a summer golf tournament in Bismarck.
When we first met, we obviously didn't think about each other. We're from 2 different cities, and we just kind of clicked right away. It was weird. We have the same kind of personality, both kind of sarcastic, and we're just having fun playing golf.
At that same tournament, it would be Callie and Cambry's mothers that started talking about the battles that their daughters face.
Literally sitting in a golf cart, don't know the people behind me, And I was either talking to my husband or my dad. They were sitting next to us and she's like, well, our daughter has that too. Like, we were talking about it. And we just, from that moment on, that's where this relationship went, with building friendship.
Wouldn't even be able to tell you the rest of the rest of how golf went that day for them, because Tammy and I were just kind of like trading stories and just kind of feeding off of each other. Like, oh my gosh, well, maybe Callie, some of this Callie has, some of that Cambry has.
Since that tournament at Apple Creek Country Club, the two girls have formed a friendship that is everlasting.
It's impossible to put that into words because there's no words that could describe how important she is and just how strong she is too, and how much her being so strong and persevering through everything has really helped me to do the same.
She's so important to me. We talk every single day. It's amazing. Like, every single time we go to a tournament and we are out of town or anywhere, we are the first person to find each other. We always are each other's biggest supporters. I can count on her and she can count on me, and just looking for her, and we just give each other the biggest hug every single tournament. It just is very heartwarming and makes me feel good. I couldn't even tell you who I would consider to be a close friend other than her.
Cambry and Callie are excited to be in Grand Forks right now for the girls Class A state tournament this Monday and Tuesday, and hope to continue their golf careers at the collegiate level.